이번 주에도 돌아온 한국어 영어 반반 팟캐스트 하프앤하프의 정태용입니다. 반갑습니다.
And I'm Jeep. Welcome to Half and Half. Today we are going to talk about part-time jobs. Um, usually we talk pretty generally about like culture and stuff, but this time I want to talk a little bit about maybe some personal stories about
오,
part-time jobs that we've had. Get into
좋죠.
that a little bit. Yeah. Um, so personally, I can think of three specific part-time jobs that I've had in the past. How about you? How many part-time jobs have you had?
전 많이 했어요. 여러 종류가 있어요, 저는.
Lots of different types. Yeah.
네, 네.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I'll just start,
음,
and then you can tell me some stories. But we'll see if we
네,
can make a conversation out of this.
네.
So the first part-time job I ever had, I was about maybe 13 or 14 years old. I was a teenager.
어릴 때 했네요.
Yeah, very very young. And I worked on an apple orchard.
과수원?
Yes, correct.
와, 네, 네.
Yeah, so the city I lived in was pretty rural, like out kind of in the middle of nowhere, but there was an orchard. It was like, I don't know, a 5-minute walk away. It was very close to our house. And so yeah, I uh, basically I just wanted some extra money so I could buy like video games and like a calculator and some stuff. And so I worked at the apple orchard on weekends for like maybe 3 hours a day, something like that, and just earned some basic money. What else is there to say about it? Yeah, so there was like different. It wasn't really like working in the apple orchard itself. There was a store in front of the apple orchard, and so
아,
I would like clean things in the store, or like I would put. So they would sell products in like bags and boxes. So I'd like stamp the bags and like put their logo on the bags, things like that, or like fold boxes in from flat into like a box shape so they could put apples in them. Yeah.
과수원에서 첫 알바를 하긴 했는데, 그게 막 진짜 막 사과를 막
No.
따고 막 그런 건 아니고, 그냥
No.
거기 같이 있는 작은 가게에서 뭐 이것저것 작은 일을 좀 도맡아서 한 거네요.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just little
아,
things around the store.
아, 아, 아.
Yeah.
뭐 그러면 그냥 가게 알바네요.
Yeah, not too bad.
음, 음. 그런데 그러면은 좀 규모가 어땠어요? 좀 큰 편 아니에요? 농장이 있을 정도면?
It was okay. So yes, it was a farm. Yeah, it was like a farm basically. It was pretty big. Like it was like in the area or in that city, it was like one of the biggest apple orchards. So there was maybe like 50 employees or something who did the actual farm work.
와,
Yeah.
넓었나 보네요, 되게.
Yeah, it was pretty big. And they would sell like literally hundreds of apples every day. Like it was crazy.
음,
Yeah.
음. 좋습니다. 근데 13살, 14살 그때쯤이라고요?
Yeah, around 13, and I worked there for like 1 or 2 years, just off and on, like occasionally on weekends, not a super fixed schedule. Yeah.
음. 근데 한국에서는
Mm-hmm.
그러니까 한국 나이로 쳐도 14살, 15살인데
Mm-hmm.
그 보통 알바를 쉽게 하지 않거든요. 그 나이 때는.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's true in our culture as well. Like usually you
아,
wouldn't be able to get a job that young. It was just a special situation, I guess, because I was very close to it, and I personally knew the person who worked at the store. Or my parents knew them, and so like it just worked out easily. But yeah, it's not a common thing, I would say.
오,
Yeah, and probably in some cases it's illegal. So
그럴 수 있죠.
yeah.
그러니까요. 우리나라도 고등학생들은 아마 할 수 있는 걸로 알고 있는데
Yeah.
중학생은 안 되는 걸로 생각이 들어서 좀 혹시나 했네요.
Right.
아는 분들이 있으면 좀, 좀 아시는 분들이었으니까
Hmm.
약간 좀 더 친절하게 대해주고 좀 그런 게 있었나요?
Yeah, definitely. Uh-huh.
아, 그래요?
Yeah, they were nice. Uh-huh. So it was good. They were friendly. I didn't have any big problems there. I mean, there was times where it was like not fun, like because it was very hot out and like there was no good air conditioning in the store, so it would get like really really hot, and it was like because there's all this like product and fruit everywhere. There was like lots of flies and bugs sometimes, and so like it's pretty annoying. but it wasn't like hard work. Yeah, not for me at
그쵸.
least. Not for me. People picking apples, I'm sure it was a harder job.
아, 그쵸.
Yeah.
아니, 그리고 또, 사장님이 좀 막 무섭게 한다던가 좀 막 화를 많이 낸다던가 그런 게 없었다는 거죠.
No, he was a pretty nice guy. He was like, I don't know, like he wasn't somebody who gets angry easily. He was just like a little bit strict, but like very friendly also. Like he would joke around and like he would be nice. So wasn't a big problem for me. But yeah,
그렇구나.
yeah.
저는 비슷하게 저 성인이 되고 나서 저는 성인이 되고 나서 모든 알바를 시작했는데
Yeah.
그 중에 하나가요. 아버지 제 아버지가 아는 그 후배의 카페에서 아르바이트를 잠깐 한 적이 있었거든요.
Yeah.
그러면은 일종의 그 아는 사람 소개로 간 거잖아요.
Yeah. So your dad knew him like as a friend,
네.
the cafe owner. Wait,
근데
what kind of cafe? Are we talking coffee or PC or like what kind?
커피 팔고
Okay. Yeah.
음식도 팔고
Okay.
네, 근데 주로 커피랑 디저트였거든요.
Okay. Uh-huh.
근데 지금 생각해 보면 막 그렇게 엄청 가까운 사이는 아니었던 것 같아요. 그 저희 아버지랑 그 사장님이. 근데 찌프의 경험과는 반대로
Oh no.
진짜 제가 만나본 사장님 그리고 제가 만나본 어른들 중에
Yeah.
진짜 저 손꼽히는 어쩌면 최강의 무섭고 그 안 좋은 경험을 준 사람이었거든요.
Oh, I see. So the owner of this cafe was like really like scary, I guess is the best way to say it.
네, 그게 아마 가장 순화해서 표현할 수 있는 것 같은데 사실 악마 같았어요, 좀.
Oh, he was almost like the devil.
네.
Oh my god.
진짜 끔찍한 경험인데.
Oh no. How long did you work there?
한 2달, 3달 했나?
Okay, just a few months.
네.
Yeah. And then did you quit because the conditions were really bad or like
아니요. 다른 일이 생겨서 어쩔 수 없이 그만두게 됐어요. 근데 그것도 진짜 좀 신기하게 그만뒀어요.
Okay.
이게 너무 특정이 될까봐 좀 조심스러운데. 근데 제가 첫날에 그 출근을 해서 막 일을 배우잖아요.
Okay. So on your first day when you showed up and you were going to learn how to do the job.
네네, 뭘 해야 되는지 막 배우고 막 바빴는데
Yeah.
그때 그 사장님이 있고 그 밑에 매니저 형이 있었거든요.
Okay.
근데 매니저 형이 막 설거지를 하고 있었어요.
Okay. So he was doing the dishes, your manager.
네네, 매니저 형이 설거지를 하고 있었는데 제가 옆에서 그 막 뭐 제 일을 끝낸 다음에 그 매니저 형 옆에 가서 저 매니저님 이제 뭐 하면 될까요? 막 이렇게 하고 그냥 옆에 있었거든요. 근데 그날 그 매니저 형이 그 무슨 유리로 된 기구 같은 거를 뭐 깼는지 뭐 금이 갔는지 아무튼 뭐가 좀 잘못됐나 봐요.
So he accidentally like broke some piece of glass or something, some machinery.
네네.
Okay.
근데 그것 때문인지 모르겠는데 그 사장님이 옆에 와서
Yeah.
그 설거지를 하고 있는 형 귀에 대고요.
Oh yeah.
이 귀에 이렇게 대고
Yeah.
그 진짜 쌍욕을 하는 거예요.
Oh, so the owner of the business was yelling like a lot of swears and insults into the managers, right into his ear.
근데
Yeah.
근데 그 옐이 아니었어요. 그러니까 막 크게 외치는 게 아니었어요. 그냥 그 손님들이 있으니까
Oh,
되게 작은 소리로
that's actually more
막 그-
scary.
네, 네. 근데
예.
이 끝이 아니에요.
Okay, yeah.
근데 막 그렇게 막
Mm,
조곤조곤 쌍욕을 하다가
okay, okay.
그 매니저 형 반대편에는 제가 있잖아요.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. On the you were on the other side while the manager, so the boss was whispering to the manager.
네네. 근데 저는 이게 무슨 상황이지 해가지고 그냥 벙찌다가 그 사장님이랑 눈이 마주쳤어요.
Right, right, right.
근데 그렇게 막 쌍욕을 하던 사장님이 저랑 눈이 마주치고
Yeah.
막 이렇게 웃는 거예요.
Oh God. So he enjoyed doing this.
네네.
Oh, that's terrible.
근데 아니나 다를까
Mm.
한 1, 2주가 지나면서
Yeah.
그 무서운 태도가 이제 저한테도 시작이 됐던 거죠. 이제 그 쌍욕은 기본에다가 그 뭐만 하면 막 화내고 막 뭐만 하면 혼내고
I see. So he did that to you too.
네.
Oh, that's terrible.
진짜 인생에서 진짜 안 좋은 경험이었어요, 그게.
Wow.
그리고 저랑 같이 들어온 아르바이트 형이 또 한 명 있었거든요. 그래서 그 형도 그만두고
Oh, he quit too. Like
네.
at the same time or the different times?
저보다 좀 더 일찍 그만뒀을 거예요.
Okay, just a little before you did. Yeah.
네. 어,
What was I gonna say though? I was gonna say, oh, okay. So what did you mostly like clean dishes, or did you like run the register? Like what type of stuff did you mostly do while you were working?
다 했어요. 다 했어요.
You just
그
did everything. Yeah.
네, 설거지도 하고 청소도 하고 그 손님 주문도 받고
Okay.
그리고 뭐
Taking
음식이나
orders.
커피가 준비되면 서빙도 하고.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
네.
And then, so so in English, like sometimes we say I worked at a coffee shop, but we can also say I was a barista. Barista sounds like maybe a little more artistic, like you use some skill to make the coffee more beautiful. Did you do like barista type stuff, or did you just make coffee? Like,
그 둘 다 안 했어요. 바리스타 일은 안 하고.
okay, okay, yeah,
네, 그냥 이제 저는 진짜 그 커피 만드는 것만 빼고 그냥 다 했어요.
okay, I see. Okay. Okay. So worst experience of your life. But was there any like good was there anything good that came out of it besides money? Like was there anything good lessons or any good experience or made a friend or anything?
없는 것 같은데.
Okay.
그냥 그때 진짜 너무 힘들어서
Yeah.
그냥 그때 제가 좀 더 단단해진 것 같은 느낌.
Yeah, sure, sure.
제가 좀 더 강해진 느낌.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean we have the phrase in English, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
아,
Maybe not actually true, but at least maybe in this situation it was. You could use that phrase here.
맞아요.
Right. Okay. Wow. Would so I, okay. So I haven't had the experience of like leaving a job on sort of bad terms or where I really didn't like the place. Did you like avoid ever going near that coffee shop after you quit, like, or anything like that?
당연하죠. 그 근처도 가기 힘들어했죠.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
네.
But the owner of the business you said was like Hubei of your dad, right?
네.
Like they had a relationship.
네.
So did you ever talk to your dad about like how things were bad there?
아, 그래서 그거를
Yeah.
근데 일하는 동안에는 얘기를 안 했어요.
Yeah. Not while you were working there. Yeah.
네, 그게 다 끝나고 꽤 시간이 지나고 나서
Yeah.
그 아버지한테 얘기를 했거든요. 근데 뭐 아버지께서도 그 놀라시고 그래서 지금 생각해 보니까
Yeah.
그 둘이가 그렇게 가까운 사이가 아니었던 것 같아요.
Yeah. Wasn't
네,
a super close relationship.
네, 그냥 뭐
오케이.
지나가다 뭐 어떻게 해서 아는 사이인데
Yeah.
뭐 그냥 연락처 있는 정도?
Okay. They just knew each other and they could contact each other. But yeah.
네, 근데 막 그렇게 아주 친하거나 얘기를 많이 하지는 않는
I see. Okay.
그런 것 같습니다.
Gotcha. Yeah.
첫 경험부터 빡센 이야기를 했네요.
Yeah, bad first start. I guess so. Okay, let me complain about my first job just a little bit. The only thing that was really bad about it, in my opinion, is the pay was very low. It was like, if I remember right, it was like $2 an hour or something. Like yeah. And this is like 30. Hold on, how old am I? It's like 30 years ago. So of course, like wages were lower then and prices were cheaper then, but still, like it was very very low pay. I think it was like under minimum wage because like it wasn't like taxed or anything. It was just like a random guy, if that makes
그쵸.
sense. Yeah.
아, 그러니까 그 시절을 감안해도 너무 낮은 시급이긴 한데,
Yeah.
아, 근데 뭐, 그러니까 법으로 보호받는 자리가 아니었잖아요.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Probably not legal. So yeah.
와, 근데
Yeah.
그러면 그렇게 해서 모은 돈으로 막 게임기도 사고.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
그랬다는 거예요?
I was still able to like buy some games, and I bought. So one of the main things I wanted to buy was a TI-82 calculator, like a graphing calculator, because I wanted to like program games on calculator, and so I did eventually buy that, and I did make some games. So like I achieved my
Wow.
objective there.
와, 낭만이 있네.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So what was my second job? I was trying to remember. Well, I don't remember my second one, but one of the other ones I was thinking about was so I went to college at a school called Digipen, which teaches game programming. Like that's the main focus of that college. And I think it was in my junior year, like not my last year, but just before my last year, they how do I explain this? They wanted some students. Okay, I have to explain this a little more before it makes sense.
좋아요.
Okay, so the school teaches game development, and within the school, they had developed their own game development tool. So they had created a game development tool within the school.
오, 막 유니티 같은 게임 만드는 프로그램을
Kind of like that, yes.
따로 만든 거군요.
Yeah. Much more simple. Like it could only do 2D games, like two-dimensional games. And it was much more simple. I'll just put it that way. It had some like visual interface where you could like build the levels and stuff like that. But they were using this as a way to teach students where they would say, take our custom program and then you have a character that can move left and right, but you need to add a jump function to it. So you can go and edit this part of the code and add jump function, and now he can jump. And then you can add an attack function, and now he can attack. So you, like over the course of, during some college course, you would keep adding more functionality to your game as like an example, basically. Okay, so they not only were using that program for the college students, but they also had what they call summer workshops. So a summer workshop is like middle school and high school students can come to the college for like 1 or 2 weeks for a short program, for a short
와,
learning thing where every day they learn for a few hours, and we use this program to teach them. Does that make sense so far?
아, 네네네. 그러니까 지프가 다니는 대학교가 게임 프로그래밍 그 학교였는데,
Yeah.
근데 이제 거기서 교육용으로 쓰는 그 게임 만드는 소프트웨어도 만들었고, 그리고 또 서머 캠프 같은 거 해서
Yeah.
그 미성년자인 학생들, 그러니까 중고등학생들이 이제 방학 때 와서 게임 프로그래밍, 뭐 코딩 이런 거 좀 배워보는 게 있었네요.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so this summer camp would have like maybe 50 students at a time, something like that. So they did, how does this work? Okay, so the school was asking current college students during the summer when we're on school break, basically, to do either teaching or tutoring for these summer camps. So okay. So when I went to college, I worked with a guy named Dave Kircher, and he is one of the guys who went with me to Valve and made Portal also. So we worked together a lot during school, and we also went to Valve and worked together there for a long time. But Dave was a teacher, and I was the teacher assistant for Dave, basically, in this summer camp. So that was my part-time job one summer. And so we did that for like 2 weeks at Digipin in Washington, where I lived. And then we also did 2 weeks in Michigan, which is really far away, like, completely different state in the USA. So we flew to Michigan, and we were at some other college campus, and we stayed there and taught there for 2 weeks. And then we did 2 weeks like somewhere else. So I did it like 3 times basically.
오. 아, 근데 그런 식의 알바? 그런 게 되게 좋은 것 같아요.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice.
네. 그러니까 본인이 공부하는 거, 전공하는 거를 살려서 하는 일이고, 또 학교 안에서 하는 거고, 그 알바긴 알바인데, 그게 어떻게 보면 커리어도 되는 거잖아요?
What do you mean 커리어? What does that mean?
career, kind of
Career. Yeah. Okay.
네네, 커리어.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
네. 그래서, 그러니까 뭔가 알바와 직업의 중간다리 같은 느낌?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
참, 그래서 대학을 가야 되나?
Yeah. So it was good. But it was like it wasn't like hard because it's not hard work, but it was very, very busy. There was like, 50 students, and every student like had a different idea of like, I want to make a game about Ninja Turtles. I want to make Final Fantasy 9. I want to make, all these different games, Resident Evil, whatever. Like they put it in those terms. I want to make a Mario game. I want to make Sonic Hedgehog, whatever. And so every student had like a different idea of what they want to make. And we're trying to use this custom program made by Digipin. And the custom program, like I said, it's very simple. So it can't do like very complicated games. And so we'd have to like tell the students, okay, you want to do this, but let's do this. Like we'll do something small. You have 2 weeks to make this game. You don't have a big budget and 100 employees and 10 years to do it. So let's make something really simple. And also, they don't know how to program or do anything, right? So we're trying to teach them how to program at the same time and like give them examples and like, build something small that at the end of 2 weeks they can say, hey, I made this game, right? And also like fix all these bugs. And the custom program that we were using, the editor, also had a lot of bugs in the program itself, right? And so sometimes like, they would try to do something that should work, but it would just completely fail. Or like they would, there'd just be problems where it would crash and they'd lose all their saved data. Like, they'd lose a few hours of work. Or like you always tell them like, please keep saving. Save every 5 minutes. Just save. So, it was like a little bit crazy because, there's all these bugs to deal with and like trying to, help students and also make it fun for them and like, all that stuff. And like I said, teach them programming. So we're like, trying to explain what a for loop is and all this stuff. And they're like, what? So, yeah.
와, 진짜 그러니까 뭐 힘든 일은 아니었을 수도 있는데
Yeah.
어려운 일이었을 것 같네요.
Yeah, I would describe it like that too. I agree. Yeah.
네, 그럴 것 같네요. 와.
Yeah.
오. 근데 그 뭐 데이빗?
Yeah, Dave Kircher.
데이브?
Dave.
아무튼 그 사람이랑 둘이서 한 거예요?
Yeah, it was just the two. Well, no. There was just Dave doing the main teaching, and he would like do whiteboard, like teaching all the programming. And then assistants, I think there was 2 or maybe 3 assistants. I don't remember. And we would like be in the back of the class. And anytime somebody like raised their hand, like, oh, I have a question or I don't understand, we would run over to them and be like, hey, what's your question? And like try to explain it. Like, yeah.
와, 어떻게 그걸 두 명이서.
No, it was like three or four, but yeah.
그랬구나. 아, 그런 일, 그런 아르바이트, 참 좋게 들리네요.
Yeah, yeah, it was decent. Like, yeah, it was a good experience, and I learned a lot from it, and like, it helped me learn how to like explain things to people and things like that. So,
그렇구나. 저도 알바 그 희망편, 아까는 절망편이었고, 제 알바 절망편이었고, 뭐 그나마 몇 개 있는 희망편을 얘기하자면, 그 제가 중고등학생 때 그 가슴 수술 여러 번 받은 것 때문에
right.
그 군대 생활을 그 공익 근무를 했거든요.
Okay, so because you had that surgery, you didn't go into the army, right?
네네. 그러니까 정확히는
Yeah.
그 군 복무를 하기는 하는데,
Okay.
근데 그게 막 진짜 막 총 들고 하는 군대가 아니라,
Right, right, right. Okay, you didn't do like the physical activity, like the hard activity stuff in the army, but you had more of like a desk job or something like that.
네네. 근데 그 일이요.
Yeah.
그 군대 부대 자체가 아니라요.
Sure. Okay.
그 뭐 예를 들면
음.
뭐 시청,
So, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
뭐 시청이나 뭐 여러 가지 그 사회에 있는 시설들 있잖아요.
I see. Yeah, you were
그-
doing stuff within the city or within like government businesses or buildings and stuff.
맞아요.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
그래서 저는 그런 사무실이라고 해야 되나? 뭐 군청에서 일을 했거든요.
Yeah. Yeah. In the office, it makes sense.
네, 근데 거기서 일을 어떻게 다 하고 잘 무사히 마치고
Mm-hmm.
어떻게 좀 그 기회가 좀 잘 돼서
Mm-hmm.
거기서 10개월인가 또 아르바이트를 했어요.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
네, 그러니까 그 기관에
Mm-hmm.
이제 주로 공무원들이 일을 하는데,
Sure. Mm-hmm.
근데 공무원들만 있는 건 아니고
Mm-hmm.
막 그 각 그 부서마다 한두 명씩
Mm-hmm.
그냥 뭐 한 1년 뭐 아니면 뭐 2년 뭐 이렇게 계약을 하는 아르바이트생들이 있었거든요.
I see. So you had to travel a lot to lots of different small offices with just a few people. You were in
아니요,
different
전혀-
offices each day or something?
아니요, 전혀 다른 이야기인데요.
Okay. Did I completely misunderstand? You said okay. You said it was kind of like government workers a little bit, but you said there was just a couple people in the office, a couple people working.
아니에요.
Okay, I misunderstood.
그러니까
Go ahead.
네네. 그러니까 그 기관에
Yeah.
대부분이 공무원들인데,
Okay. Everybody was government workers, but
네, 대부분이
yeah, mostly. Yeah.
네네. 그리고 그 이제 부서들이 있는데,
Oh, in each department.
네네. 그 각 부서마다 한
Yeah.
두 명씩 아르바이트생들이 있었거든요.
Okay, I see. So there was one or two people in each department.
네네. 근데
오케이,
이제 그래서 그 아르바이트를 제가 하게 됐어요.
Uh-huh.
그래서 그때는 좀 좋았던 것 같아요.
Mm-hmm.
공무원 분들께서 굉장히 잘 챙겨 일도 잘 가르쳐 주시고,
Yeah.
그리고 밥도 많이 사주시고,
That's great. Yeah, they buy you lunch.
네. 그리고 제가 계약이 끝나갈 때
Mhm.
그 계약을 더 하기를 원했어요. 그쪽에서.
When your contract was up, you wanted to extend the contract.
아니 그분들이 저를 연장하기
Oh, they
원했어요.
wanted to extend the contract for you.
네네.
Okay, but
근데 그 친구가 그 자기랑 같이 식당 하자고 해서
okay.
그래서 나왔는데, 아무튼
Yeah.
그 되게 저를 좋게 봐주셨던 거죠.
Mm-hmm.
예, 그리고 막 그 태용아, 네 공무원 하면 잘하겠다 뭐 이런 얘기도 하고.
Wow.
아무튼 이게 희망편, 좋았던 알바.
I
네,
see. That's good.
그렇습니다.
How long were you working there? Like just a few years? Or?
아니요, 제가 딱 10개월 했을 거예요.
Okay. Wow. Just 10 months.
네.
Wow. Okay. What was I going to ask about it though? Like, So so when you say 공무원, like you're talking about government workers, and I know that in Korea, it it's a very it's difficult to get that job. Like you have to work very, very hard and study very hard to get that position. And so you were saying a lot of the people you worked with were like good at their job, and so that made the job easier, more fun, I guess. Like you kind of said that working with government employees made it a good experience for you because they were good at working.
아니요.
No, I'm misunderstanding so much. Go ahead.
아, 그러니까
Yeah.
그분들이 일을 잘했다는 건 아니에요.
Okay. What did you
아,
say?
그러니까 그건 제가 모르는 분야예요.
Oh, okay, okay.
뭐 그분들이 그분들의 막 일을 엄청 잘했는지 뭐 실수를 많이 하는지
Okay.
그건 잘 모르는데
Okay, okay.
그냥 저한테 잘 해줬어요.
Ah, they were just good to you.
네, 그
Oh,
말이었어요.
okay. Got it. Okay, got it.
네, 그랬죠. 네,
That's good.
그래서 어떻게들 지내시는지 궁금하네요.
Maybe. Let's see. What else is there? So the only other part-time job that I kind of remember was this one. I don't know if it counts because I actually did not get paid for this. So so this is when I was in high school, and I was trying to get more into I don't know how to explain this, computer field, I guess, like anything
네.
to do with electronics or computers. And I'd learned a little bit of programming, but I didn't like have any real skills, basically. So there was a computer repair shop in our neighborhood. Like
오,
it was I don't know, like you could drive there in maybe 10 or 15 minutes. It wasn't too far from my house. And basically I just went I don't know if I sent an email or if I like sent a letter or just walked in. I don't remember. But basically I just said, "Hey, you have this computer repair shop, and I want to learn more about repairing computers or building computers, just doing that type of work. So can I just hang out here and you just tell me what to do and I'll do it?" And they were like,
오, 대박.
and it was run by like just one random guy, and there was like one other employee, and they were like, "Okay." So like I think it was just on Saturdays I would go and basically spend the day there, maybe like 6 or 8 hours. I would be in the computer repair room, and they'd be like, "Okay, we have these 5 PCs. We need you to install Windows on all 5 of these PCs. Just install Windows, or run this virus scan on this, and delete any bad files." Or because customers would bring in their computers, right, and we would have to
네.
fix them. Be like, what's wrong with this? And so they'd be like, try to figure out what's wrong with this computer, or they would tell me, "Okay, the problem is they need to replace this and this and this. Like, try to do these replacements or do these upgrades." And so, yeah, I don't know. Like some of it was like software work, and some of it was hardware work in terms of just like putting the machines together, screwing them together, and like doing the physical labor of it. But yeah, I just did that for free just so I could like learn more about computers.
그게 언제였다고요?
This is when I was in high school. I was probably
Wow.
15, I think. Yeah.
아,
Yeah.
야, 씨, 근데 진짜 낭만이 있네요.
I guess.
와, 드라마네 드라마.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe it seems that way from your perspective, but like for me, like I guess I thought that this would be like a really, really cool job, like because I didn't know like what it was. And then when I started doing it, I realized it was kind of boring. Like I learned a bunch, but it wasn't like fun or like that interesting. It was just like,
no.
you just put these parts together,
그렇죠.
delete these files or whatever. So doing like IT kind of work. And so I don't know. I learned a bunch, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. But the weirdest thing that happened was okay, so I don't know how it works in Korea, but in USA, before you get your driver's license, we get a learner's permit. It's called learner's permit. So when you're younger, you can drive, but there's special requirements of like somebody who has a license has to be in the passenger seat. so that they can give you advice or, tell you not to make, really bad mistakes. So I had my learner's permit when I was working at this job. I didn't have my full license. And one day they had built a bunch of computers for a school in the area. They'd like sold some school like 50 computers or something like that. And my boss, I don't know if I can call him my boss, but the guy who worked there, he was like, "Hey, we need to deliver these 50 computers to the school. Can you drive them there?" And I was like, "Well, I have a learner's permit. I don't have a license, so you'll have to come with me." And he's like, "Okay," because the car that I drove was like a big van, like it was very, very large, had a lot of space, so we could fit all these computers. And so we put all these computers in the van, and he got in the passenger seat, I got in the driver's seat, and we had to drive to the school. It was maybe 30 minutes or an hour away. It was like pretty far. And this is the first time I'd ever driven on the highway. Like I'd only driven on like local streets. I'd never driven like fast before. And so we have all these computers in the back, and I'm driving like 100 miles an hour on the freeway, because so in the USA there's like speed limits, right, on the
네.
roads. And so on a fast road, the speed limit might be like 60 miles an hour, or even like 70 is like really fast, 70 miles an hour. But in Montana at the time when I lived there, the highways had no speed limit. There was literally no speed limit. Yeah.
네.
It's changed now, but for a few years it was like that. And so I got on the highway, and we're going like literally 100 miles an hour. It's my first time driving on the highway, like going all the way to this school. And nothing bad happened. It was fine, but it was.
진짜 다행이네요. 와.
Yeah.
아니 근데 어차피 그 사장님이 같이 차에 탈 거면
Yeah.
그냥 본인이 운전하면 되는 거 아니에요? 어차피 같이 갈 거면?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
아 그러니까 그 왜 운전을 지프한테 시켰던 거예요?
Oh, because I had the van. He didn't have enough space in his car to deliver all these PCs.
아 그게
yeah.
지프의 밴이었구나.
Yeah.
아 그렇구나.
Yeah. So
어,
anyway, yeah.
어,
But yeah, it was interesting.
그게 다 과수원 빼고는 그 지금 하는 그 컴퓨터와 게임에 관련된 일이었네요.
Yeah, I think so.
음. 저는 또 뭐가 되게 많은데. 무슨 얘기를 해야 되지?
Yeah, pick another one. So the one that you were just talking about, was that your favorite part-time job, or did you have like a different part-time job that was your favorite?
제일 좋았던 거요?
Yeah.
사실 좋았던 거가 많이 없는데. 제가 김치찜집 얘기했어요, 제가?
Oh, really?
얘기한 적 없어요?
Yeah, I don't think you've told me about that. No, you made kimchi as a job?
아니요. 그냥 김치집이 아니라 그 김치찌개 있잖아요.
Oh, jjigae. Okay, so you made sold kimchi soup or stew.
네. 그게 제가 사는 동네의 집 근처에 김치찌개, 정확히는 김치찌개는 아니고 김치찜찌개인가? 아무튼 약간은 다른 건데.
What's the difference? I don't quite understand the difference.
뭐 요리하는 방법 그런
Yeah.
게 좀 다를 거예요. 근데 뭐
Okay.
김치찌개랑 거의 똑같아요.
Okay, right.
네, 근데 제가 예전에 한국어 선생님 되려고 한 6, 7개월 정도 공부를 했었거든요. 시험을 치려고. 근데 그때 돈은 벌어야 되니까 평일에는 공부를 하루 종일 하고, 그리고 토요일, 일요일에는 그 집 근처에 있는 김치찜 집에서 일을 했어요.
I see. So when you were working on becoming a teacher, but you needed some money on the weekends, you worked at this soup, kimchi soup place.
맞아요.
Okay.
그래서 오전에 출근해서 오픈 준비를 하고
Mm-hmm.
거기서 일하면서 점심 저녁까지 먹고
Mm-hmm.
이제 가게가 문 닫을 때쯤에 청소까지 하고 저는 집에 돌아오는 거죠.
Wow. So you worked from open to close the whole time.
네.
How many hours is that? That's a lot.
아마 8시간일걸요?
Oh, wow. Okay.
네, 8시간 아무튼
Okay. So just 8 hours.
네, 정확히 기억 안 나는데 거의 그랬어요. 그러니까
Okay.
그냥 토요일, 일요일 거의 하루 종일 했어요.
Oh, right. Because you said it was from lunch to dinner.
네.
Okay. Sorry. I was thinking breakfast to dinner. I was like, what?
아니요.
Makes
근데 이제
sense.
점심 시간 좀 전부터
Right.
저녁까지.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
근데 가게가 막 그렇게 크지는 않아서
Mm-hmm.
그리고 또 제가 설거지나 음식 준비는 할 필요가 없어서
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
일이 꽤 단순했어요.
Okay.
네, 그래서 반찬들 그냥 준비해서 손님들 오면 갖다 주고 그리고 주방에서 음식이 준비되면 그것만 갖다 주고
Okay.
그리고 손님들 가면 테이블 치우고 그게 끝이었어요.
I see. So just
네.
preparing the side dishes and cleaning off tables. Bussing.
네.
We would call it bussing tables.
네네.
Yeah.
근데 거기서 토, 일, 요일 동안 일을 하는데 점심, 저녁을 밥을 먹어야 되잖아요.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
근데 밥을 뭘 먹냐?
Mm-hmm.
그 김치찜을 먹었어요.
Mm-hmm.
거기서 파는 메뉴인 그 김치찜을 점심, 저녁으로 먹었어요.
So you were just eating the same thing that you were selling
네.
because it was free?
네.
Okay, go ahead. Uh-huh.
그래서 제가 거기서 같이 일하는 분들이 두 분 계셨는데 이모님들 두 분이셨거든요.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
그한 분이 주방 일을 도맡아서 하시고 그 다른 한 분은 뭐 매니저 같은 역할인데 아무튼 뭐 주방 일도 가끔 도와주고 대부분 그 서빙 이런 거를 하는
Mm-hmm.
아무튼 그렇게 세 명이서 점심 저녁을 다 김치찜을 토요일 일요일 먹었는데 그러면은 매 주말마다
Mm-hmm.
김치찜을 4번을 먹는 거잖아요.
Yeah. Yeah. Every weekend you were eating it about 4 times. Uh-huh.
네. 근데 다만 다른 거는
Mm-hmm.
점심 시간에는
Mm-hmm.
그냥 기본 김치찜을 먹고
Yeah.
그럼 이제 그 메뉴에는 김치랑 뭐 양파, 파,
Mm-hmm.
뭐 그거랑 돼지고기가 많이 들어가요.
Okay. Yeah.
그러니까 이게 기본 메뉴거든요.
Right. That's the basics. Is you get like green onions, pork, and kimchi. Yeah.
네. 그리고 그냥 양파도.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
네네.
And some regular onions too.
네. 근데 점심에는 그렇게 항상 먹고
Mm-hmm.
저녁에는 거기에다가 스팸하고
Spam. Mm-hmm.
네. 그리고 그 라면 사리를 가끔 추가해서 먹어요.
Okay. Uh-huh.
그러니까 약간은 다른데 어쨌든
Right. You just to add a little bit of variety, you would put some ramen or some spam in there, so you didn't feel like you were eating the same thing every day.
맞아요.
Right.
근데
Mm-hmm.
놀라운 건요.
Mm-hmm.
그렇게 매주 4끼를 먹는데 질리지 않는 거예요.
Really? You never got sick of it?
네.
Wow, amazing.
근데 그러다가 어떤 일이 벌어졌냐?
Uh-huh.
추석이 됐어요. 추석.
Yeah, okay.
네,
Yeah,
그
like
추석이
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
네네 추석이 연휴가 길잖아요.
Mm-hmm.
근데 저는 주말 알바다 보니까
Mm-hmm.
그 추석 연휴도 이제 주말처럼 그 일을 해달라고 한 거예요.
Okay, so during Chuseok, Thanksgiving, the restaurant was still open and serving lots of customers, and you were working that whole time.
네네.
Okay.
그래서 그 연휴가 좀 길었던 것 같은데 한 5일인가 일을 했었을 거예요.
Oh, I see. It was one of the middle of the week ones where it kind of extended throughout the whole week. Yeah.
네.
Okay.
그래서 5일간 연속으로 그렇게 일을 했는데
Mm-hmm.
이변이 없었어요.
Uh-huh.
5일간 점심 저녁을 그렇게 김치찜을 먹었습니다.
Right. So because during that long extended break, you were eating kimchi jjigae, the stew, like every single day.
네.
Oh yeah.
점심 저녁 둘 다 뭐 가끔
예, 예.
스팸 넣어 먹고 가끔 라면 사리 넣어 먹고
Uh-huh.
근데요 그래 결국에 그 무사히 일을 마지막 날까지 다 마쳤어요. 진짜 몸이 녹초가 돼가지고 막 그리고 그 입고 있는 옷에서는 막 김치찜 냄새 막 나고. 근데 그렇게 보람차게 마지막 연휴에 퇴근을 하고
Yeah.
막 집에 와서 막 샤워를 하고 막 지친 몸으로 그래서 밤에 딱 침대에 딱 누웠거든요.
Uh-huh.
딱 그렇게 침대에 누웠는데 그 저녁을 약간 애매하게 그날 일찍 먹어서
Mm-hmm.
그 막 늦은 밤에 자려고 누우니까 약간 배가 고픈 거예요.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
약간 출출한 거예요.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
근데 그때
네.
그때 진짜 신기하게 그 김치찜 생각이 나더라고요.
Really? So like even though you were, finally done with it, like you took a shower, laid in bed, you felt a little bit hungry and you're like, "Oh, you're still thinking about kimchi jjigae."
근데 약간 코에 냄새가 나는 것 같으면서 아 지금 딱 먹으면 맛있겠는데?
You could still smell it and kind of wanted it.
네.
That's really interesting. That's the opposite of what I would expect.
아니 그게 진짜 신기했어요.
Huh. Yeah, that's crazy.
네. 그래서
Mm-hmm.
좀 아쉬웠어요. 일을 그만둘 때.
Mm-hmm.
그래서 그때 제가 한국어 선생님 그 되는 시험이
음.
그 1차로 그 진짜 말 그대로 시험을 쳐서
Mm-hmm.
그거를 합격하면
음.
2차로 면접을 봐야 했거든요.
Mm-hmm.
근데 그 계속 공부를 하면서 아르바이트를 하면서 공부를 해서 1차 시험을 합격을 했어요.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
그래서 이제 2차로 면접만 보면 되는데
음.
솔직히 면접은 뭐 얼마나 어려울지 잘 모르니까
Mm-hmm.
이제 주말까지도 면접 준비를 해야 된다.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
이렇게 생각을 해서 그 가게에 잘 이야기를 하고 마무리를 했거든요.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So you talked about like how you were studying for this interview and like you weren't sure how difficult it would be, so you needed a lot of time to study.
네.
Mm-hmm.
그렇게 잘 그만두고 나서 이제 한국어 2차 그 시험 면접까지 합격을 잘 했고
Yeah.
그 이후로 한 친구랑 한두 번 가서 또 맛있게 먹었거든요.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
그리고 막 뭐 제주도나 뭐 해외여행 같은데
Yeah.
갔다 오잖아요.
Yeah, yeah.
그 돌아온 날에 거기 가서 먹으면 진짜 막 천국의 맛.
That's so funny.
근데
Yeah.
너무 아쉬운 게요.
Yeah.
제가 방글라데시 가 있는 사이에
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
그 가게가 없어졌어요.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
그 가게가
There was nothing that was selling Korean food in Bangladesh, right?
아니요.
No.
그러니까 제가 방글라데시에서
Yeah.
살고
Yeah.
한국에 돌아왔는데
Oh, uh-huh.
그
He was
가게가
gone after
없어졌어요.
that? Oh. I see. So like by the time you got back it was gone.
네.
I see. I see.
진짜 너무 아쉬워요.
Yeah, that's sad. Do you sometimes get kimchi jjigae at other places?
그쵸. 예.
네.
가끔씩.
Okay.
먹어요.
Does it taste as good or better or worse? What do you think?
거기만한 맛이 안 나요.
Oh, that's too bad.
그러니까요.
Wow. That's too bad.
진짜. 예, 그렇습니다.
Yeah. Something you made me think of, because I only had those 3 part-time jobs. Oh yeah, I guess I was thinking about like, I'm curious if there's a part-time job that you've always wanted but never tried or never had. Like,
그런 건 없는 것 같은데.
okay.
저는
Yeah.
아르바이트는 아니고
Mm-hmm.
해보고 싶은 일이 있긴 있거든요.
Mm-hmm.
영어로 뭐라 하는지 모르겠는데 한국 그 헬스장에 PT 쌤?
Sure. So Helsejang is a fitness center, and what was the second part?
그 퍼스널 트레이닝 선생님.
Personal training. You want to be a personal trainer?
네, 제가 몸이 진짜 좋아져서 그런 걸 한번 해보고 싶어요.
All right, cool, nice.
네. 그 제가 몸이 좀 약하고
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
막 좀 근육이 좀 잘 안 붙는 체질이고 뭐 좀 운동을 잘 못하기도 하고
Mm-hmm.
그러다 보니까 제가 이걸 약간 극복해서
Mm-hmm.
그 몸을 좋아지게 하는 방법을 제가 깨닫고 난다면
Right.
그러면 진짜 제가 최고의 선생님이 될 수 있을 것 같거든요.
True. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, good idea.
네, 그런 일 한번 해보고 싶어요. 그리고
Yeah.
몸을 막 활동하는 일이 좀 좋은 것 같아서.
Right, right. Yeah, it fits your skill set, and also you'd be able to like improve your health and stuff like that. So yeah, good idea.
네, 참 좋아 보이더라고요.
I see.
그리고
Yeah,
뭐 찌프는 그런 거 있습니까? 해보고 싶은
sort of.
Yeah.
So it's funny when you're talking about the kimchi jjigae. This is why I thought of this. I always felt like I never wanted to have a job or a part-time job in a restaurant because I felt like if I worked in a restaurant, I would start to hate the food that that we were serving. Like I would just like hate the smell of it or the sight of it at a certain point. Maybe that wouldn't happen. I don't know. But at the same time, I always wanted to have a job at Subway, like as a part-time job, like
Oh.
making sandwiches.
오, 일리 있어요.
Really?
저도 생각해 보니까 그렇게 느끼는 것 같아요.
Oh, really? Why?
아니 서브웨이 얼마나 좋아요.
Oh, okay, okay.
예, 예.
But yeah, I always thought it'd be interesting to just like be able to like kind of like an assembly line, put the sandwiches together and like ask what people want and like put it on there and like I don't know. It's really stupid, but I think if I only did it for like one day, I would love it. And if I did it for 1 week, I would like it. And if I did it for a year, I would hate it.
아, 그렇구나. 저는 서브웨이 알바 하면은 서브웨이 샌드위치 만약에 점심 저녁으로 다 먹을 수 있다고 하면
Right, right, right.
그러면 하고 싶을 것 같은데.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I like for myself when I make sandwiches, I really love making sandwiches. Like I just think it's fun. I mean, of course, the best part is eating it when you're done. But like.
근데 그렇게 생각하니까 해보고 싶은 아르바이트들이 좀 있는 것 같긴 해요.
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
예.
Yeah.
아주 일리 있는 포인트였습니다.
That's good. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it though. I mean, like you said, you have had a lot of part-time jobs, so I'm sure we could kind of talk forever about it. But
네,
we don't want to talk forever.
맞아요. 지금 적당히 시간이 지나서
Yeah,
네, 마무리하면 될 것 같고. 근데
Mm-hmm.
저는 이번에는 그 아르바이트에 대해서 되게 우리 경험에 대해서 이야기를 했는데
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
그 좀 뭔가 약간 프리미엄 토크도
Sure. Yeah.
또 할 지점이 있는 것 같거든요.
Oh, yeah.
제가 생각했던 부분들이 어떤 거냐면 예를 들면
Mhm.
그 아르바이트가 진짜 직장을 가지고 일을 하는 거에 비해서
Mm-hmm.
뭐 그게 뭐 커리어는 아닐 수 있고 뭐 돈은 좀 적게 받을 수 있는데
Yes. Yep.
근데 좀 자유도가 더 높을 수도 있고
Yeah. I agree. You have more freedom. It pays less, and it's not a career, but you have a little more freedom. Yeah.
네네 뭐 그런 또 장단점이 있잖아요.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
그래서 뭐 그런 면에 대해서 얘기를 나눌 수도 있을 것 같고
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
그리고 또 많이 느끼는 건 제가 20살 때쯤에는
Mhm.
그 제 또래들이 진짜 많거든요. 한국의 그 인구 구조가.
Yes. Yep.
네.
Yeah. It's the same here. It's the same here. But yeah.
네, 아무튼 그래서 저는 막 대학 들어갈 때도 되게 힘든 때였고
Mm-hmm.
그리고 그게 막 군대 들어갈 때도 막 경쟁이 치열했던 때였고
Mm-hmm.
똑같이 아르바이트 때도
Mm-hmm.
아르바이트 일자리를 찾는 게 되게 어려웠고
Yeah. True.
그리고 또 그렇다 보니
음.
그 아르바이트생으로서 받는 대우도 대부분 좀 안 좋았거든요.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Same here.
근데 이제는 좀 젊은이들이 부족해져서
Yes, in Korea especially. Yeah, there's this
네.
problem where the birth rate is very low. Yeah.
네. 그래서 야, 참 격세지감이긴 한데
Mm-hmm.
격세지감 사자성어 아나요?
No. What does that mean?
격세지감 막 이 시간이 아주 오래 지나서 사회가 바뀐 거를 이렇게 막 느낀다 이 말이거든요.
Okay, okay. Yep.
격세지감이긴 한데 그 22살 때 만난 친구가
Mm-hmm.
우리가 그때 만났을 때는 아르바이트생이었던 입장이었는데
Mm-hmm.
그 지금은 그 친구가 그 사장님을 하고 있거든요.
Oh, uh-huh. Yep.
좀 빨리 좀 성공을 한 친구가 있는데
Yep.
근데 그 친구는 아르바이트생을 이제 쓰는 거죠.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
네. 아 이거를 다른 에피소드에서 얘기를 해야 되는데.
Yeah, we
아,
could
근데
do
뭐-
that. Yeah.
근데
If you
아무튼 그 간단하게 얘기를 하면
Mm-hmm.
그 친구랑 제가 만나서 막 아르바이트를 할 때는 우리가 되게 막 그 막 사장님한테 막 되게 막 쫄고 막 대우를 못 받는 알바생이었는데
Right.
그 지금 그 친구는
Mm-hmm.
그 이제 알바생들한테 아주 잘해줘야 되는 사장님인 거죠.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
그래서 그런 시대에 따라 아르바이트 경험도 바뀌는구나 생각이 들더라고요.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Because of that, the culture around it has changed. Yeah, it makes sense.
네.
Interesting.
아무튼 뭐 그거는 그 다음에 또 아르바이트 프리미엄 토크 편에서 할까요?
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Let's do that. That sounds
네, 뭐
good.
이거 말고도 다른 또 생각해 볼 만한 흥미로운 부분들이 있는 것 같아서요.
Okay. Okay.
좋습니다. 이쯤에서 마무리할까요?
Yeah, yeah. Let's wrap it up.
네, 오케이. 그러면 어느새 또 1시간 정도 얘기를 나눠봤는데요. 이번 시간 그 아르바이트 희망편 그리고 절망편
Yeah, yeah.
네, 얘기를 구독자 여러분도 재미있게 들어주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
Mm-hmm.
그리고 이게 어느 순서로 언제 이 에피소드가 올라갈지는 모르겠지만 구독자가 1000명이 넘었습니다.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, even though you're not sure what order you're going to upload these episodes in, as of now, we're now above 1,000 subscribers. So, thank you so much for subscribing. Thanks, for sharing it. Please keep doing that. But yeah, it's a good milestone. Yeah, it's awesome.
네, 감사합니다. 덕분입니다.
Yeah, thank you.
네, 그러면은 또 여러분의 아르바이트 경험을 나눠주셔도 좋고요. 또 찌푸의 희망편 같은 경험, 또 저의 절망편 같은 경험도 다 좋으니 나눠주시면 감사하겠고요.
Yeah.
그러면 네, 이쯤에서 마무리하겠습니다. 저는 지금까지 한국어 영어 팟캐스트 하프앤하프의 정태용이었습니다. 감사합니다.
I'm Jeep. Thanks for listening to Half and Half, and we'll see you next time again. Bye. Bye.